Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of our circus and drama extravaganza. Today we'll be using our hula hoops and learning to spin them on different parts of the body. Let's start with a warm-up. Let's roll our heads from one shoulder to the other. Feel nice and relaxed. Now think about your heads. What can they do? What can you do with your head? How can you move your head? Think about all the different places it can go. Up, down, left, right, at a diagonal. Think about the speeds you can move your head at. And let your head take your body on a journey. How does this journey make you feel? Really explore and experiment. What does your head let you do? Think about different speeds, different directions. Let it go. Now for the shoulders. You've got two shoulders, so you might move them together or you might move them one at a time. You can draw circles with your shoulders. If you do that, then think about what direction is this circle going. Now think of all the things your shoulders allow you to do and play around with these movements. Let your shoulders tell a story. Let your shoulders take your body on an adventure. Where does your body go when you're only thinking about your shoulders? It's the dance of your shoulders. Time for some elbows. Again, we've got two elbows. You can move them together or separately. What can they do? Think about speed, directions. Maybe write your name with your elbows, which is what I'm trying to do right now. What other words can you write with your elbows? Where can your elbows take your body? What patterns and shapes can you make using your elbows? Let your elbows take you on an adventure. Bring your attention to your hips. What can we do with our hips? We can move them in circles. We can move around. How big can you make these circles? Making sure to change direction and change the speed. Can you draw your circle in slow motion and then get faster? We can move our hips at a diagonal. We can draw our circles from the floor upwards as well, so our circles don't have to be flat. They can be up and down circles. Now let's write our names with our hips, or write a secret word. And let your hips take you on a journey. Let's spell a word using all the parts of our body. So our head, our shoulders, our elbows, our hips, and anything else you want to add. So we're spelling a word or our names, but we're changing what part of the body that we're using as our paintbrush. There's no rules. Go crazy. We're moving our bodies. Now that we're nice and warm, let's do some hula hooping. Let's start by spinning a hoop on our hand. It looks like this. We want the hoop to be on our hand in front of our thumb. So our hands are strong and straight. Our thumb sticks up and the hula hoop is in front of our thumb. Hold on to the hula hoop with your wrist facing towards you and your fingers are closed around the hoop. Let's give it a little rock from side to side so that eventually it goes over our hand and then our hand opens and we do this spin on our hands in front of our thumb. Always try to keep it in front of your thumb. That way we have control. It means that if we want, we can stop the hoop and start again. Just like this. Watch. I stop and now I change direction. Can you try that? Stop, change direction. Stop, change direction. Stop, change direction. Let's do it with our other hand. Exactly the same. You might find it a little bit harder with your other hand, or maybe even easier. My hand is always strong and straight. Play around with changing direction, stopping and starting again. So to stop, I simply wrap my fingers around the hoop. Now here's a cool challenge. Can you slide another hand in? So we're changing hands while spinning the hoop. So you're looking for that gap. Look for a window of opportunity, some space where you can bring your hand in. You might have noticed that I was crossing my arms when I changed hands. We can do it a little bit easier than that. We can just pass from one hand to the other without doing this cross. So we're looking for that space, all that space. Then we put our hands in, keeping our hands nice and strong. See how fast you can do this change. Now maybe add a tiny, tiny little throw from one hand to the other. Such a small throw, maybe just a couple of inches. It's lots of fun. Let's learn a super cool lasso move. Yeehaw! It's the same trick, but this time our hula hoop's above our head and the hula hoop is flat to the ground. So we start with it at the side of our body like this. Now to get some momentum, we bring our arm back as far as it can go, then we draw a circle forwards and up over our heads, and then we open our hands for our lasso spin. Yee-haw! Let's try and keep the hula hoop flat above our head. Mine's not so flat, but it's okay. See if you can add another hand. Now this one's a little bit easier because we don't want to look for the space. We're simply sliding our hand along the other one. So we bring a hand up and slide it along the hand that's already in the hoop. So we've done lots of things with hand spins. We can do them in front of our bodies, above our heads, with our left hands, our right hands, and we can change direction. Let's now spin the hula hoop around our necks. So we start with it flat to the ground. We bring it to one side. It's touching the side of my neck. And I push. Now I'm really moving my head and neck quite a lot. And I'm also pushing with my upper body. So my shoulders and my chest are moving in little circles. Here's a challenge. If you've got this, see how long you can do it for. Then we're going to stop it and change direction. Look how I'm moving my whole upper body in little circles. My feet are rooted firmly into the ground. My feet don't move, my hips don't move. It's just my upper body. Let's learn something really fun and quite advanced. We're going to start by spinning the hula hoop around our waist. Then we're going to push really hard to bring the hula hoop up. So we learnt this in the episode on dance. It comes up. Now I'm pushing with my chest. I'm going to bring one arm down. Then I'm going to bring the other arm down. Now I'm spinning around my neck. Let's do this again and watch in slow motion. We start around our waists. We'll keep our arms out to the side. Then we're going to push really hard. So we're really using our bodies, all of our bodies, to push and get that hoop up. So it's now spinning around our chests. We're really pushing with our sternum, our breastbone. Now look at that space in the hula hoop. When that space is at the front, we're going to bring one arm down really fast. Now we're pushing with one armpit and half of our neck. Little bit strange, but you can get used to it. We're carrying on making these circles with our body. Now wait for that space and bring that arm down again really fast until you're hooping around your neck. Try that a few times, and if you've got it, then here's the next trick. We're going to bring it from our neck to the lasso position above our heads. So when we're ready, we're going to slide our hand in, lift our arm above our head. Let's watch this in slow motion. We're spinning the hula hoop around our necks. Pay attention to where the space is inside the hoop. I'm going to use my right hand because that's my strongest hand. So I'm going to lift my hand inside that space, straighten my arm. Remember, my thumb's sticking out. And my hand is nice and strong and straight. And if you want, you can bend your arm and bring it back down around your neck. Just like that. We can go up and down, up and down, up and down. This one's my favourite, hula hooping above our knees, just there. We start just as before, the hula hoop's touching one side. We wind it back and push. Now, my feet are together, my knees are together, and I'm making these little circles, these little pulses with my knees. My upper body is hardly moving. It's all in my knees. Remember, when you find that rhythm, stick with it. Can you do it the other direction? I find this a lot harder and I have to pulse my knees a lot faster. Now, sometimes it's okay to use one knee more than the other. So if the hoop's moving to your right, then you'll be using your right knee a lot more. Another tip is to really squeeze your thighs towards each other. Can you take your hula hoop for a little walk? Or a shuffle, maybe? Now, how good are you at balancing on one leg? If you're good, let's try and spin this hoop on one knee. So we start on one leg. The other leg has to be really far out of the way. So you have to have a very strong balance. We start in exactly the same way. Keep the hoop above the knee all the time. As soon as the hula hoop goes under your knee, that's when we've lost it. So we're always pushing our knees hard to keep the hoop above the knee. Well done! You've worked so hard. Bye-bye! It's time for some drama. And today we're going to start by just walking around our space. As you walk, just see if you can change your walk a little bit. Can you use a part of your body a little bit more or a little bit less? So we're making a small change. Then we're going to make this change a little bit bigger. You can see what I'm doing. I'm swinging my arms. Now let's add our face. How does our face become an extension of this walk, this movement? The face might match the mood of the walk, or it might be completely different. Let's add something else. So I'm adding a stamp of my foot. And shake it out. Let's do a new walk. Let's do something completely different. Let's move in a new way. We're creating a completely new walk. We're going to move in a way we've never moved before. Now we're going to add something small to this walk. What might that be? It can be as ridiculous as you like. The more ridiculous, the better. Let's add another thing. So we're really stretching our bodies here. Let's shake it out. Let's do a new walk. Be as creative as possible. You might walk backwards, you might walk on your hands, you might walk inside out. Let's add something to this new walk. Let's try a new walk. Another new walk, something completely different. Think about what part of your body starts to move first. What is it? Is it a foot, a knee, a hand, a shoulder? And in which direction? Shake it all out. Let's do one more new walk. Something completely different. Moving in a way you've never moved before. Think about directions, speed, shapes that you're making with your body parts. What part of your body is leading? Is it your head, your elbows, your shoulder, your hips, your knee, your ankles, maybe your bum? Let's add something to this new movement. And let's look at our audience as we do this walk. Who is your audience? Is it a camera or a family member? So let's add a facial expression. This facial expression shares with our audience how this move is making us feel. Let's add another movement onto this walk. So we'll really develop this walk. Let's add another movement. Keep developing this walk, adding another thing to it. Anything, some kind of movement, and definitely a facial expression. How do you look at your audience? With the most ridiculous face ever. So we're not only moving in a new way, let's also do something new with our faces. Brilliant. Shake it all out. Can you add your hula hoop spins with a new walk? Here is a beautiful clown about to demonstrate it. The clown's decided to spin on her hand and do a silly walk with some funky footsteps and a head nod. Interesting. Oh, backwards. Some kind of turkey head movement going on. Yeah, keep it going. Cool. Okay. So why are we doing this? We're doing this to create a new character and maybe even to create a clown-like character. We can make people laugh, we can entertain our friends and family, and we can have fun ourselves through play. Have lots of fun. And if you want, you can share underneath a film of you doing your silly walk, either with or without your hula hoop. I hope you had lots of fun. Goodbye and see you soon.